Hi guys, welcome to my review of the TTArtisan 40mm macro lens, and just so you know, I will be using it on my Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II camera for this review. Now, my love for macro photography started when I got a phone with a macro lens, and here are some of my favorite macro photos that I took with my phone so far. So this is a very inexpensive lens, costing only about $130 brand new in my country, and I've been wanting to try out macro photography on my camera for a while now, so you can understand why I bought it. But let's see how well it actually performs. So let's start with some of the specs of the lens. It has a 1:1 magnification factor, allowing you to get really close to your subjects. The maximum aperture is f2.8, which is nice, but it doesn't really matter that much for macro photography, as you tend to use a smaller aperture anyway in order to get more in focus. The lens is a manual focus only lens, and it is not weather sealed, but that's to be expected for the price. It's quite heavy for its size, weighing 371 grams, due to the fact that it's made out of metal and glass. Which brings me to the build quality. The aperture ring has very nice clicks, and it feels quite precise when you turn it. The zoom ring also feels smooth enough, even though it has a very long throw. Everything about this lens feels like good quality to me, and I would say the build quality is very good overall. Now for the most important part, the optical performance of the lens. Firstly, I must say I was really impressed by the sharpness of this lens. This lens unfortunately does have other flaws, which I'll get to soon, but sharpness definitely isn't one of them. Something else I was impressed with is that this lens does not seem to have issues with chromatic aberration, which is often a problem with cheap lenses. This isn't a great photo, but I just wanted to show you that even in this challenging situation, there is almost no sign of chromatic aberration. Now for the things that the lens doesn't do that well. So, internal reflections are sometimes a problem with this lens, as you can see here in this photo. It kind of ruins the photo in most cases as it removes all the contrast, but in some cases, like this one, I do think it adds quite a unique touch to the photo. Unfortunately, it is something that happens quite often with this lens, so it's definitely something to keep in mind. Something else that's kind of annoying is that the lens doesn't have any stabilization, so using it with the camera body without IBIS like I am, it's not that easy to get photos that aren't somewhat blurry. When I started using this lens, I realized just how easy my phone makes it to capture macro photos. Like, it focuses for you, and most of the photos I take with it doesn't have any blur. If I take hundreds of photos with this lens, I'm very happy if one or two of them are at least focused in the correct plane and don't have any type of blur to them. But this is the first time that I use a macro lens on a camera, so I think I should probably just practice more. To conclude, while it is possible to take great photos with this lens, it was rather difficult for me due to the internal reflections, the lack of stabilization, and even the manual focusing. I find it a lot more enjoyable to just use my phone due to how much easier it is, but if you want the best results, this lens definitely wins the phone. Considering the lens's low price, it may be possible to overlook some of the negatives, and it is definitely possible to take great images with it. So, if you don't want to spend tons of money, but would also like to try out macro photography on a camera, I would recommend this lens. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!